doing today, my guy?
My man, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be on here. Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
Can't wait to hear what you got to say.
Yeah, man. So, one of the questions I wanted to dive straight into with you particularly is I know that you do a lot of the motivational speaking now and stuff, and you also have a program where you help fighters try to find ways to put their money into other things once fighting is over for them. So a big question that I had was, as somebody who is a professional athlete, what is it that, what do you think it is? Because a lot of these athletes, they get a lot of money right off the rip, and then they may not have the entrepreneur mindset after they retire from their career that they have.
Absolutely. And I would say it's a lot more than just money. It's knowing who they are beyond the sport, knowing what they're going to do, what makes them happy, and how to set up for that. Because so many of these athletes, especially fighters, are always told, you're a fighter, you're a fighter, you're a fighter.
Right.
But hearing that so long, they believe that that's who they are instead of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And that can be dangerous. That's where when the sport's over, when that season of your life's over, if you don't know who you are, if you don't know what makes you happy, it can be a long road. And that's
Right.
what fighters and a lot of athletes are suffering from.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think it is? So do you, like, a lot of people, they kind of just like dial in to like the particular like career like that they choose, and then once they have all the kind of monies they own, once they have the kind of money from it, they don't really know like where to invest it for the most part.
Also that the fact that a lot of us come from blue collar families or less fortunate families. And when you get a big lump sum of money like that, if you don't have a plan for it, if you don't have structure, if you don't have guidance, it is gone just like that, between bad investments, bad spending, not knowing where to put it to build your future.
Right.
It disappears quick.
Right. So, how's your speaking journey been going recently for you?
It's going good, actually. I'll show you something this week. I don't know if you participate in Toastmasters much.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I haven't. I've gone to like a meeting or so to like see what it's like. Oh, okay. Nice.
I went 4 for 5 this week in table topics. 4 for 5.
Okay. Nice.
But also, I've been to some schools.
Mm-hmm.
I've spoke to construction crews. I've been to some speakpreneur events. It's always a pleasure. It's always a rush. I get so excited to do it. I tell people my 2 favorite things to do are fight and speak, public speak, and they look at me and let me know how odd of a pairing that is, but that's all right, because public speaking opened up so many doors for me, changed my life completely. Just like
Right. 100%. Now I know that you're fighting. You have your comeback on the verge here. We're approaching July pretty soon. One of the questions I had was, obviously you've had injuries time and time again, but what was probably the most serious injury that you got from fighting?
I got kicked in the face in my last fight. It didn't end the fight, but he kicked me in the face, crushed my nose the rest of the way over, and I had to have surgery where they went in there, they moved a muscle over and opened my nose back up, right?
Oh, wow.
Well, the surgery, like waking up, that was It went great.
Yeah.
The thing is, the recovery from that was an experience that I never want again. They had me on Oxycontin, everything, and it did nothing. It
Mm-hmm.
felt like there was a torch in my nose for a week. Blood, boogers, everything just leaking out of my nose for a week straight. And I just kept eating. I don't even know why I was eating. I couldn't taste it. But that was, oof, that's going to have to be the worst one to date from fighting.
Okay, okay. So we're approaching up and coming to Oklahoma and stuff. Have you been doing like your fight camps? You've been doing like any training camps? I've been reading off your motivational messages that you have with the numbers and stuff.
It's coming down. It's get to the countdown now. I'm actually not too beat up. I think I got one black eye and some bruises on my forehead, but
Yeah,
that's that's part of the game. I got a love for the sport.
right.
Here training with the number fourth heavyweight in the world right now.
Nice, nice.
It's something that I don't shy away from. He's one of my favorite guys to spar because,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not going to say I go in there and win. I go in there and I get beat up, but that's okay.
right.
He is somewhere that I want to be. He is somewhere where I'm going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be uncomfortable. You have to stay training with elite people. That's
Right.
just part of the gig, but training camp's going great. Not injured, learning a lot, feeling dangerous, baby. Let's go.
That's awesome. That's awesome to hear, man. I'm excited to watch you fight. I just got like we just got into the like new Paramount era, obviously. And I just got Paramount back to see the UFC Freedom fights and everything. And I was just like, oh, like I'm gonna have Alvin on. I've got to make sure I have Paramount for that too, so I can see your fight and stuff.
Let's go.
Yeah, so another big question that I had for you is when we talk about like your speaking journey and your fighting journey, you said that it opened a lot of doors for you, and they almost kind of merged together in a way because a lot of senses in speaking and in fighting, it's almost like wrestling in a sense because the speaking would be the promotion, and then the fighting would be like the wrestling aspect of it.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, I get the same feeling as when I go in there to fight it, when I public speak. The thing is, I didn't get it when I was wrestling in high school. It was more, I didn't have the grit that I have now.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, wrestling set the base for my fighting. Wrestling is, in my opinion, one of the most important sports that a young man can do, a
Mm-hmm.
person in general.
For
Because there's
sure.
no team to blame. There's nowhere to hide when you go out there. It is you and what you did or you didn't do. Either you trained hard enough or you didn't train hard enough. And that goes for every individual sport. It's just, it sets apart from a team sport in that way. It makes people take responsibility.
Right. 100%. Another question that I had was when, like, as like an athlete and stuff, there's a lot of time differences. Obviously, we had to figure out the time difference for this episode today and stuff. So, like, when you're in someplace like Arizona and you're coming to someplace like Boston, how much of a difference or if you travel overseas, how much of a difference in like acclimation usually is it for like an athlete to be able to like transition into that like time period? Because it's like my day has started and my day is about to be at noon and you're still in the early parts of the morning. So
Yes,
it's like we
yes.
all have the same 24 hours, but my 24 hours is 4 hours ahead of where your 24 hours is.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. They will send us there a week and a day prior
Mm-hmm.
to get acclimated, to get set in, to get all the traveling out of your system. But I think it's a lot of mental preparing as well.
Mm,
along with that. But of course, yeah, getting there the week early, being able to settle in, that's what they do for that.
for sure, for sure. What was your like kind of like big break and like what made you like want to go into UFC?
Man, I was actually at a point in my life where I didn't know what was missing. I didn't know why I felt the way I did. And when I did my first amateur fight, it took that feeling away. I realized that that's what was missing in my life. I realized that I was meant to do this, and I went all in on my dreams. I went all in on it. And that's what a lot of people need to do. That I was living my life at that time based on other people's opinions. I was living my life based on what I thought other people wanted to see out of me. And that's not the way to live your life.
Right, 100%. I 100% agree with that. You know, we have here at the studio, we have a whole bunch of like quotes up on the walls, like just like inspirational quotes and stuff. You know, like we talked. We're part of the School of Hard Knocks community, and like we just like a lot of the mentors they give like great like quotes, and I'm just like, okay, like now I'm finding too many high spots to like have to write quotes and stuff on the wall because it's like we're running out of space and everything.
Let's
But it's
go.
just like between like seeing all the quotes every day, you know. But Paul posts 1,000 posts a day too, as far as like quotes and stuff. There, it's just like, oh, I want to write that one down, but it's just like I'm running out of wall space.
It's good to see them though, and it's good to see your goals. It's good to, keep your mind in that state of focus.
Right, right,
That's not a bad thing.
100%. Um, as far as like the mindset shift, what was the big turning point for you where you started to be like, okay, like this is like more of like the mindset shift that you wanted to go into towards like your fighting and towards like just life in general.
That was around the same time when I started taking fighting seriously, when I started not living my life by other people's opinions, when I found out who I was and what
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do. That's when my life started to turn around. And then it turned around a whole nother time when I started public speaking, when I realized that my message could help people, that people needed to hear my message. And it opened up so many doors, and it keeps opening up doors.
Right, right. 100%. Because like when we first met at the Speakpreneur event in Boston, like like I knew who you were, but like I didn't like piece it all together just yet. Like I had heard of your name before, and I was just like, why have I heard of that name before? And then when you started speaking, you were talking about the cage and stuff. And I'm like, I've seen this dude fight before. And then like after we met, took the picture and everything. Afterwards, I was going to an event of a friend of mine afterwards, and I was taking a look at one of your fights, and I watched the fight where you landed 500 strikes on the guy. And when I see that, I was just like, that's more than a lot of boxing matches. And when I tell people that, I was just like, I'm like, I watched this UFC fighter. He landed 500 strikes to this one guy. And they were like, wow, that guy was a punching bag.
Actually, he was one of the toughest guys I have ever fought. That
Yeah.
guy was tough. After that fight, I couldn't even walk out of the cage by myself. That fight is the definition of leaving it all in there.
You're right. That was a great fight.
I
The
remember
first one
leaving
I
on the
saw
bus.
was the head kick that you did. The head kick
Yeah, yeah,
knockout. Yeah.
the head kick. I was told you finish this fight excitingly, which all my fights are exciting, but you finish this one exciting, you'll get the call. So I
Right.
was going all in, baby. Let's go. Head kick.
Hmm. For sure. Now, you mentioned that you did wrestling, like growing up, and you got into the UFC kind of that way. Were you a fan of wrestling growing up? Like, were you a fan of like the product of wrestling?
Oh no, I actually didn't watch it at all.
No.
No, but I have a lot of buddies that do still do.
Mm-hmm.
They're way into it. But
Word.
it wasn't for me.
Okay.
Wasn't for me.
Okay. What other sports did you play other than do other than wrestling?
Football and a little bit. I played 1 year of baseball.
Okay.
Was horrible. I mean, I don't think I ever hit the ball. It was so
No.
bad. Football, I was good at the tackling part. I played middle linebacker, defensive end. Again, I could run the ball,
Yeah.
could not catch it. Throw it off my hands like they're made of stone.
Right. Hey, I go through the same thing. My hands are made of stone too. For sure, for sure. So, so in football, was there anything that you really like? You said that you were living like your life for other people's opinions, but in football, was there anything that you took with you going forward into like wrestling and stuff?
Um, I would have to say it was the other way around. I took wrestling
Mm-hmm.
to football,
Yeah.
wrapping up the tackles, the mentality of you're in practice, not blaming anything on other people, going out there and having the grit, just playing. I'd say it was the other way around for sure. Wrestling went into football.
For sure, for sure. That's cool to hear. So another question I had for you is, are you a Minnesota Duluth fan? Because I saw on your page that you're from Minnesota out here, and I'm a big Boston University fan, and I know that there's always a big beef there and the rivalries and stuff in the hockey worlds.
No, I don't watch a whole bunch of sports.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch a whole bunch of fighting even. I like to watch the other heavyweights. I like to watch people I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a lot of other stuff that I work on as well.
Right.
Sit there and fanboy over like some of these guys for hours. I'm not to that point or at that point. I don't know if I ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't watch a whole bunch of sports, and I honestly I don't even know what the World Cup is. People keep bringing it up, don't even know what it is. Is it soccer?
Yeah, it's soccer.
Okay, well, see,
Yeah.
it tells you right there.
Yeah, I mean, like, I find that interesting because like, some people that I've talked to, they're like in the wrestling field and in like the fighting fields, they do a lot of homework as far as like watching particular fights. It's just like there was this opening, there wasn't this opening, or like they do it for spots and stuff like that. So I was just wondering, like if it's more of like when you do your training regimen, if it's more of a like visual, or like you do watch some video, or it's more of just like the straight physical impact.
No, definitely watch. I definitely watch tape on the guys I'm fighting. I definitely watch other heavyweights, technique videos, light heavyweights. And I'm not saying I don't watch other weight classes,
Mm-hmm.
but I just don't spend a whole bunch of time on
Okay.
watching people I'm not going to fight. I don't watch every fight. I watch stuff that I would use. I'm always out
Right.
there learning. I'm just not fanboying over fighting.
Right. I hear that. I hear that for sure. Um, I know that you got the fight coming up in Oklahoma. Is there anybody else, like, I'm not really trying to like put it out there, but is there anybody else that you're really like looking forward to fighting in your next fights coming up after the big
Yeah,
one in Oklahoma?
no, Petrino is his name. He's from Brazil. but he's
Mm-hmm.
got two of my teammates, and I'm gonna have a piece of that guy. I don't even know. I don't know if that's his first name or his last name, but I know it's one of them.
Okay, okay, for sure. And one of the questions I kind of like to finish up on is what do you have as far as dreams and goals for yourself moving forward?
Yes, yeah. I'm gonna build that company helping fighters because that's a huge need. I'm gonna speak all over the world, sharing my message, helping people. And I want to be to a point where I will be to a point where I'm successful enough in life to where I can take my kind of vacation. And what I mean by that is I've met some people now, and what they do on their free time, or some people call it a vacation, is they'll go to like another country and build a gym, build a little school, a church.
Right.
You know how cool that would be?
Yeah.
You have to be successful enough. And I'm not saying if you only have $5 and you give to that it doesn't mean the same in a sense. But if you do, the more successful I am, the more impact I can have. And I cannot wait to be able to do stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff that drives me. And that's the kind
For
of stuff
sure.
that will make me successful so that I can do that.
For sure. I love that. That's awesome. Are you looking to like start like a fighting school as well, or are you just you working more on the program?
For the class for the fighters, yeah, actually, it's going very well. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna start an actual fighting school, but to be
Mm-hmm.
able to go, maybe like branded by me
Mm-hmm.
over in other countries and stuff, I just think it would be huge. It would mean a lot to me. That churches just helping other people
Right, right.
would be awesome, and being able to help them in a sense that I would like that fulfills me. But you gotta have money to do it.
For sure, for sure. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, I interview a lot of like music artists and stuff, but I tell people all the time, you know, marketing and advertising are two different things. And that goes
Yeah,
over a lot of people's heads. And like, Paul was one of the people that taught me that. You know, marketing and advertising are two different things. They're two different ball fields. You might think they're the same, but they're two completely different entities.
yeah. It's all, and I'm glad you know came to Speakpreneur because that one of them events changed my life.
Right.
It did.
Same. I see. And just wanted to thank you for coming on the show, and I wanted to thank you for seeing the vision, because when I first started and like first had the conversation with you, I was at my like sixth or seventh episode, and like now we're here at episode 19, and I just want to say I appreciate you for seeing the vision, man.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate you for keeping the grind going.
Hell yeah, man.
I haven't looked at the list of Speakpreneur's events,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm guessing Boston was a good turnout, so I'm guessing they will be back in Boston,
For sure.
and I will see you there.
All right, brother.
If
We'll
it
see
works
you in
out,
the
I'm
next
definitely going.
episode. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, my man.